You'd have to imagine that the past few years have felt like one massive PR crisis after another for Disney. Whether it's their flops and failures at the box office or on streaming, whether it's the numerous IPs that they've absolutely destroyed, or whether it's their decision to wade fully into the culture war before realizing, oh no, we just alienated over half of our potential audience. It has been a disaster for them, especially when it comes to their, quote, family-friendly programming. Their animated movies that used to be hit after hit after hit, when all of a sudden they decided to start putting propaganda into them. And last week, when Snoop Dogg, of all people, went viral for talking about the last Disney movie he went to, when he took his grandson to see Lightyear from Pixar, and he thought, hey, you know what? Toy Story, Lightyear, I can just sit there, I can do my thing, my grandson can have fun, I can sit there, eat popcorn, go to sleep, until it started to be gay propaganda. Snoop Dogg body slams Disney over his grandson's reaction to Lightyear lesbian mom scene. I didn't come for this shit. And it's important to note that in this interview he gave, he was on a podcast and he was just talking about it for a couple minutes. He wasn't saying, oh, I hate gay people. He wasn't saying anything like that. He was simply saying, I couldn't believe that this is what I went into a children's movie and that is kind of shoved in front of you. What am I supposed to say when my son asks me, how did these two women have a baby? This doesn't make any sense. These are the things that are also reflective of what a lot of everyday people think. They just want family-friendly entertainment. They just want kids' movies to be kids' movies, not trying to expose you to this or put this propaganda out there. They just want children to be entertained, not be indoctrinated. And of course, it went viral, and there was some criticism for Snoop Dogg because, well, you can't say that. You can't say that you don't want those things in kids' movies. You can't say that we don't want you exposing this stuff to your kids and grandkids really early on. That's homophobic. And a lot of backlash for Snoop Dogg, the woke mob coming after him. You had transgender actresses saying it's not okay for Snoop Dogg to put these lyrics or these things in his music videos or in his songs that clearly aren't made for children, yet have a problem with this stuff being put into children's movies. Trans actor T.S. Madison called Snoop Dogg homophobic for questioning why LGBTQ content is crammed into children's films. But now it's gone to another level. Snoop Dogg cancel culture backlash escalates as NBC considers pulling him from The Voice. Yes, The Voice, the show where people go on there to sing, people recruit them to teams, competition, whatever. I can't say that I watch The Voice, but I am familiar with what The Voice actually is. Apparently, some people are not very happy that Snoop Dogg has said the shocking thing that virtually everyone agrees with. Maybe this shit shouldn't be an entertainment meant for 4-year-olds. On the outs, The Voice execs hold crisis talks with Coach Snoop Dogg as NBC is furious over his homophobic contents. This kind of attention is the opposite of what the network wants as they head into their highly anticipated season premiere. The backlash the rapper's been receiving for his rant about same-sex couples in film, and again, that is such an oversimplification. Is Snoop Dogg sitting there and telling you, hey, when I turn on HBO Max and watch an R-rated show and there's like a lesbian romance, that he doesn't expect to see something like that? It's not what he's saying at all. He's specifically talking about when he's taking his children to the theater to see a children's movie by Disney. That's what he's fucking talking about, and there is a big difference. It's a perfect example of why he most likely will not be returning after the next season. His comments caused an uproar over the weekend, with many slamming the coach's homophobic viewpoint. The backlash has bled into his role on The Voice, which aims at being an apolitical and inclusive show, according to a production insider. This is the exact kind of conversations they didn't want to be sucked into. Production had to remind him that he works for an inclusive, apolitical, family-friendly show, and comments like this only go on to create a divisive environment. The show doesn't condone the comments. This is the opposite of the kind of spotlight they want on the show just ahead of the new season. And it just makes contestants and even some crew members not feel like the set is a safe space, since they have all different kinds of people part of making this show come to life. The source added, the comments like these are exactly why Snoop is already on the outs with the show. Now, there's been other problems. Apparently, he's involved with something when it comes to the Australian Football League, and a lot of people think that he's going to be pushed out of that. All for saying, right? Snoop Dogg's over 50 years old at this point. He's had a lot of shit happen in his past. He's been on a lot of things. He's even been on like pro-gay shows and stuff like that before. All he is saying is that when he takes his 4 or 5-year-old grandson to the movies to see a family movie, that he's shocked when this type of thing gets introduced, as everyone probably is, as the vast majority of people are. This is one of the biggest reasons why Disney has lost so many people, because the normal, everyday, average person, they feel the same way when something like this is introduced to your children. Yet now here we are, the woke backlash mob trying to get Snoop Dogg canceled, potentially losing his job on NBC's The Voice, all because he just wants to take his kids to the movie. He just wants to sit there, let his grandson enjoy a nice movie, and not have to worry about propaganda being shoved down his throat. Absolutely ridiculous. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.